when you're working in this assignment, I have provided a template that covers each piece of the 21st century fluency lesson as it's presented in chapter 11. And I want you to use this template to complete your final lesson for this course. So the first thing I need you to do when you come into the Google document that I've provided you a link to is to go to File and make a copy. And when the dialog box comes up, change Copy Of to your last name. And then say OK. And what happens is Google generates a copy of that template that you can now use to make your changes, add your information, and complete the assignment as you're being asked to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to work through each step of the process presented in Chapter 11. So what you're doing is creating a unit plan. And so within this plan, this template, you're going to need to add all of the pertinent information. You need a title, the content area, the grade, how long this might take, time range, time frame. Then, as you're working through the template, wherever you see add your idea, give a description, include, where you might see a question, right here, that needs an answer, that's where your answers go. And you don't need to leave this information on the template, unless you just want to. You can replace that with your own text. That's fine. So you'll go through the entire template. This main page gives the big overview of the lesson, so you can look at it and really see what's going to happen in this lesson. Okay, this is the overview. And then starting on the second page, we're going to set the stage. So what kind of technology might we use? We're going to get some options for technology. What's the scenario? What are the guidelines? What information are you going to withhold so that your students need to discover for themselves? So just a little more information on setting the stage for the lesson. And then you get into the actual nitty-gritty details of the learning process. So how is this project going to play out? And it goes through each step from, how are you going to figure out where students are at when you start? Then how are they going to define it, and how are you going to make sure that they understand what you want? Then how will they go through the discovery process? Who might they do that with? This doesn't just have to be you, one single person doing it. You can bring in a librarian, it can be a team teaching kind of thing, whatever. So this is the area where you put in each of those pieces. How is this project going to evolve? From the very beginning of how do I know my students are ready and they know what they need to know to get started, to the very end, how are they going to present what they've learned? And for each step of the way, there are prerequisites for progressing. So what do they need to show me that lets me know they're ready to go to the next step? Okay, so there's a little formative assessment piece. And you're even going to have a rubric that kind of steps you and your students along the way. Then we're going to add some rubrics. One for the whole project, one that's going to kind of break that down a little more, and then one that's that formative rubric that I just talked about that says here's, here was the progression prerequisite. Okay, did you meet it? Did you not meet it? What are some suggestions to help you get there? So those will go in here. Then you'll have a page of resources. And then there's also a page on ideas and different questions that you might use to expand this unit. Could be for differentiation, for diverse student populations. You could have just some other ways to approach the lesson or the unit depending on who's in the class. As you developed it and you get to the end, you might think, oh, this would be a neat direction to go as well. So just some additions and some suggestions for expanding this unit. And so that's the end of that whole thing. So you'll fill all of this in. And then once you've got this all filled in with the pertinent information, in order to submit it into Canvas, you'll need to go up to Share. And I don't want you to put a name in. I want you to share it with me this way. What I want you to do is I want you to get a shareable link. And once you go click on Get a Shareable Link, I want you to go to this menu, anyone with the link, and I want you to change it to Can Edit. Please give me editing rights on your document. Once you've done that, Google will generate a link. So I need you to copy that link, and then copy, and then go back to Canvas into the assignment, and you need to paste this link into the assignment and submit that as your submission for our lesson. All right, so again, when you first come into the lesson template, don't do anything until you've gone to File, you've made a copy, and you've changed copy of to your name. I'm just making this up. You've said OK, and you've allowed Google to generate a copy of this file that is yours. Once you've done that, fill in all the information. When you're ready to submit it, click on Share, get your shareable link, make sure that you change it to Anyone Can Edit, copy that link, go back to Canvas and paste that link into the assignment submission.